I'm Connor, and I'll be talking about interchangeable parts. The development of interchangeable parts was an integral part of the United States becoming a manufacturing powerhouse, which was a necessary step in order for the United States to become self-sufficient following the Embargo Act of 1807, put in place by Thomas Jefferson, which cut off trade with Britain and France due to the Napoleonic Wars. This leap in manufacturing ability allowed the country to grow economically and in terms of land, because the concept of interchangeable parts fit in so well with the developments in the industries of agriculture, transportation, and communication of the time period. The invention of interchangeable parts as seen in the United States is credited to Eli Whitney. But interchangeable parts are known to have been used prior in shipbuilding and clock-making industries. In addition, the concept of interchangeable parts should be considered less of a single invention and more of a shift in mindset. The concept of interchangeable parts is the process of assembling a product like a rifle using numerous small and easily replaceable parts. This meant that unskilled workers had the ability to work assembling rifles in a factory. This, in turn, eliminated the need for skilled artisans, who made expensive rifles in a very time-consuming process. As a result, if a part of your rifle or any other technology were to break, it would be cheap and easy to repair on your own, therefore making these products far more accessible. The first primary source that I've selected is a letter from Pierpont Edwards to Thomas Jefferson. The letter references a contract that Eli Whitney made with the U.S. government to manufacture 10,000 guns. The document refers to Eli Whitney as, quote, a gentleman of first respectability for talents, and particularly for mathematical and mechanical information. End quote. The contract that Eli Whitney signed was to manufacture 10,000, quote, implements of death, end quote, in just 2 years. However, he didn't even come close to this goal and failed to deliver his muskets. He didn't even deliver his first 500 muskets until 9 months after his 2-year deadline expired. However, he managed to complete his 10,000 muskets in the end, and in the 8 years following managed to manufacture an additional 15,000 muskets. The second primary source that I've selected is a letter from James Madison to James Monroe. Once again, Eli Whitney is referred to as a, quote, eminent and mathematical and mechanical genius, end quote. In this document, he is recognized as the inventor of the cotton gin, for which he is still well known to this day. In the document, it states that, quote, he will probably converse with you on the subject of making firearms, in which he is also an artist or an undertaker, and may perhaps make himself useful to some objects under your patronage, end quote. This shows that he still is yet to be known well for his system of interchangeable parts in musket making, and is still mainly known as the inventor of the cotton gin. In addition, this letter was written just 2 months after Eli Whitney managed to deliver his first 500 guns. This means that Eli Whitney was likely looking to meet with James Monroe in order to gain good favor, since he had failed to meet his deliverable goal. Along with the invention of interchangeable parts came the creation of factories and the idea of mass production, which is so prevalent in modern times. Assembly lines of workers with little training are now able to create large quantities of products of decent quality at an astonishing rate. This paved the way for a factory-based economy in the North, which only furthered the North-South divide, building towards the Civil War. The invention of interchangeable parts caused an expansion in the frontier, thanks to an increase in accessible technologies, especially in terms of transportation and communication, which would be crucial in the future. The creation of interchangeable parts made way for an entirely new economic system in the United States, known as the American system, which was based heavily in the ideas of Alexander Hamilton, whose ideas had three main parts: a tariff, as seen in the embargo; a national bank, which is seen in the Second National Bank of America; and finally, improvement to manufacturing, which is seen with interchangeable parts. This replaced the domestic or putting out system, which required merchants to provide materials and products from craftsmen and artisan, which was incredibly inefficient and ineffective. Thank you. This is my bibliography.